What's going on, guys? Today I'll be doing a review of the Punch Equipment Fuerte Mexican style boxing gloves, so stay tuned.
Uber up the styles like miles and shit, like 60s funky worms with waves and perms, just sending junky rhythms right.
Alright guys, so we have these Punch Equipment Fuerte Mexican style boxing gloves. We'll do the close-up, weigh-in, and review on. And you can see here it's a standard Mexican style boxing glove which has a little bit of a longer cuff and a little bit more of a roomier hand compartment with a really flat angled punching surface that you typically see in a lot of Mexican style gloves. If I were to compare this to any glove, I would say that these really remind me of Plateau Reyes gloves, except they're a lot more broken in feeling right off the bat, more comfortable and more protective, to be honest with you. I feel like you can really land some good shots with these. But just to show you guys real close, this is full leather construction. And I know from Pakistan, there's different levels in terms of different tiers of gloves that you typically can get from Pakistan. You can get some really cheap low-end stuff, and then you can get some really high-end stuff like Top Boxer, where it's a really masterfully crafted gear, and the leather and the stitching is done really nicely. And this Punch Equipment glove is really done nicely. You can tell that whoever made it took their time, took a lot of pride in the actual craftsmanship of the glove. The stitching looks really nice. It doesn't look like it was rushed, like a mass-produced glove, which is really nice to see. You can see a little imperfection on the thumb. That's actually from me using the glove. That's not from the manufacturer. But overall, it's a very attractive looking glove. You do have that kind of that polyester satin liner on the inside. That's really nice and comfortable. You can see the thumb has the attached thumb right there. Has a nice parallel thumb as well. And you can show you the other glove. They're both symmetrical to each other. And again, if you like Mexican style gloves, I think you'd really like these gloves. I'll tell you more about that in the review, but you can see overall really nice. The leather itself, it has a nice grain and texture to it with a good shine. Not too shiny, but has kind of a satin shine to it. And again, you can see the punching surface right there. It's not too round. Kind of flattens out, so it gives you a little bit more area to land with your knuckles, and you get that satisfying pop that I know a lot of you like to feel. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale and see how much they weigh. One thing that Punch Equipment advertises with these gloves specifically is that they say that these are supposed to be pretty true to weight, which is always nice to see in a training glove. That typically doesn't happen. Obviously with pro fight gloves you get that. You have to be accurate, but for training gloves, sometimes you can see gloves that are 13, or 3 ounces overweight. And typically it's Mexican style gloves that you see that are a lot heavier than what they say they are. So the right glove is 16.6 ounces. So not too far off from its advertised weight. And the left glove is 16.5. So that's great to see that both gloves are about the weight that they advertise and they're about equal to each other. So it's good to see the balance between the two gloves as well as them being almost on weight. So let's go ahead and do the review. What's up guys, Carlo here, and today I'll be doing a review of the Punch Equipment Fuerte Mexican style boxing gloves. I got mine in all black in 16 ounces with a Velcro strap. You can also get a hybrid lace-up version in 16 ounces, which is basically a lace-up, but it still has a Velcro strap on this. And you can also get it in white. So you have two color choices to choose from in terms of the 16 ounce model, as well as a hybrid version of this with the lace-ups. And you also can get this in 12 ounces with just the Velcro strap. So you have two sizes and basically two colors to choose from. And now Punch Equipment is a company that's based out of Australia that specializes in making boxing equipment, whether it's gloves, headgear, heavy bags. They pretty much make it all in terms of boxing gear. And they're recently starting to kind of venture out here into the United States with their operations. They do both have their Australian website as well as their Punch Equipment USA website, which I'll have both below down in the description box, so you can check out some of the gear that they have. Now this particular glove is actually designed in Mexico, but is manufactured in Pakistan. And the whole idea behind this glove was to give a really Mexican style glove that has the level of comfort that people look for that you typically don't associate with Mexican style gloves. Now a lot of people will get Clutto Reyes, which are fantastic gloves, but a lot of times there's issues with the thumb, the sizing, the hand compartment being very uncomfortable, the glove being too stiff, and just, you have two crowds. You have people that either love those gloves or they hate them. And I think that with these Fuerte gloves, they do a fantastic job of really taking kind of the drawbacks of the Reyes gloves and really making them a great thing in this glove. Now you can see with a Mexican style glove, it does have a little bit of a longer cuff with a little bit of a roomier hand compartment. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually didn't mind the little bit extra room in this hand compartment, and it does have that flat angled punching surface that you can see there. So that's another great feature with this glove, is the punching surface being a little bit more on the flatter side. So when you land your punches, you really get that satisfying pop and that feeling that you've really connected on the bag or whatever you're hitting. So design-wise, you can see here it does have kind of a oval Punch Equipment logo on the back, very reminiscent of Reyes. Fuerte, designed in Mexico. You also do have it on a patch on the back of the Velcro strap with the Mexico flag colors, green, white, and red. Punch Fuerte, designed in Mexico, as well as their website right there. So basic looking glove, all black, nothing too crazy or fancy, which I like. A lot of people like more of the subdued look. They don't really like the crazy metallic colors and split thumbs and triple split thumbs and multiple colors in that glove. Some people do. It just depends on your personal taste. And then on the other side of the Velcro strap, you do have the Mexican flag with Mexico, 16 ounces, designed in Mexico again. As if you it's pretty much printed everywhere on this glove, just in case you didn't know that. I think that could have done away with it. And one thing I'm going to mention here too in a second is that this is actually their original version of the Fuerte glove. Now they actually released a newer version of this glove that looks almost identical to this, that comes with better quality leather than this current leather, which I still think is great leather, and also a little bit more of a turned in thumb to give it an even better feeling thumb. So hopefully I could do a review on the newer version of these Fuerte gloves here in the future, but for now these are pretty much the same as those, except for those minor modifications, as well as a different colored liner that's more breathable and has better moisture wicking properties than the one in this particular glove. So it's basically the same glove as this, just better quality, but at the same price level. So as you can see there, again, the Velcro strap, double stitching throughout. You do have the grip bar with the ventilated holes, as well as the attached thumb. So other than that, a pretty simple looking glove. Now the quality of the glove is definitely top notch, especially for a glove that comes from Pakistan. A lot of times there's different tiers and different levels of gloves that you can get from Pakistan. You can get the really lower end, entry level stuff, or you can get the super high end, like the artisan type level stuff like Top Boxer offers, that comes with really nice high quality leather, The stitching is on point. You can tell that the gloves are made with a lot of detail, attention to detail, and a lot of pride. And I feel like these gloves are done in that same manner. You can see that the actual leather that they use throughout the entire glove is the same quality. They don't cheap out on it. It has more of a satin look to it. It's not super shiny. It's not matte either. You can see there's a little dimple right here. That's actually from me using these gloves. But the leather is really nice and thick and supple. Has a really nice broken in feel to it right off the bat. That's one thing I love about this glove, is that it doesn't feel stiff when you start using them. You can put your hand in it and it feels like it fits really nicely right off the bat. And you can see the stitching is all done really nicely. There's attached thumb, areas that you see a lot of stress typically, where the thumb connects as well as meets up against the index finger, looks really good. All the leather is bonded nicely to the foam. Stitching looks great. You know, the stitching on the palm looks really nice, as well as on the wrist area. You do have this 4-inch Velcro strap that goes all the way around. Again, stitching looks really great on both sides. You know, nothing loose there. The hinge point looks really good, stitched in nicely, full Velcro. And then you have about, I'd say, a 1/2-inch layer of either a dense layer of latex or EVA foam on the back of the wrist to give you that extra support. And then on the inner wrist, you do have, again, about a 1/4 inch of kind of a filled padding right here along the wrist area to give you that locked in feel. And then you have this, I think it's called taffeta type liner, basically the polyester satin liner, which is really nice and comfortable. It feels really nice and silky when you put your hand in there, and it doesn't bunch up. So you can see the quality on these gloves looks really good. Leather looks really nice. Stitching looks really good as well. Now, comfort is probably my favorite thing about these gloves. When you put your hand in here, you can see just how long the cuff is. Some of you guys, you know, may not like that. Some of you guys do like a little bit of a longer cuff. Again, this is supposed to be a Mexican style glove, but it's super comfortable. When you put your hand in here, man, your hand is in a perfect position to make a fist. The thumb feels fantastic. And then on the newer version of these Fuerte Elite gloves, apparently the thumb's going to be even better. I don't know how they're going to do that, because right now, as it stands, this thumb is super comfortable. Good enough room. It doesn't jam at the top. It doesn't pinch at all. And then the finger compartment is nice and deep, so your fingers really sink in there, and you can really curl over. You do have a piece of foam and neoprene on the fingertip area, as well as this grip bar that you can really make a great fist. And again, my hand is in a nice position. When I said it was roomier a little earlier, roomier horizontally, so you do have a little bit extra room. So these gloves are great for people of all hand sizes. If you do have smaller size hands, maybe I would go with a 12 ounce to go, just to be safe on the safe side. If you do have medium sized hands to larger hands, then I think these gloves will fit you nicely. I have medium sized hands, and I feel like these gloves do well, especially once my hand wraps are on. But the best feature about this glove is how broken it is right off the bat. You can actually see I can open and close my hand with relative ease. And the overall feel of the glove is really nice and soft, and very supportive as well, especially around this wrist area with the padding along the wrist as well as on the back of the wrist. It feels really good. Velcro strap does a nice job of keeping everything supported, as well as this EVA or the latex they use on the back of the hand. That allows you some flexibility but doesn't allow you to overextend your hand. So it feels really good. I really love the way these gloves feel, nice and broken in and very satisfying. Now, the protection and the performance of these gloves are fantastic as well. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like these are basically a better performing and a more comfortable version of Reyes in terms of the kind of foam they use. Now, they use a latex foam combined with a molded foam based on what they have on their website. And you can see that it has kind of a medium density to it. It's not super soft and it's not super dense. But when I use this in sparring as well as on the heavy bag, they do a fantastic job. Both are protecting my sparring partner, but even when I use these on the bag, I get excellent feedback and power transmission through the entire glove, but I don't feel like I had sore knuckles. So I was able to really hit the heavy bag with this glove and not feel like I had sore knuckles, didn't feel like I had any kind of soreness throughout my hand, and didn't feel like I had to pull my punches because the way the foam is. A lot of times some gloves, you start to get sore knuckles and you feel like you have to pull some power out of your punches. With these gloves, I didn't feel like you had to do that at all. And even in sparring, you know, the foam is forgiving enough to where you can use this with your sparring partner and you won't do a lot of damage. So you can see there the consistency of the foam. Again, about medium density, right in the middle, not too soft and not too hard. Now the cost of the gloves are about $199. I know that's a pretty high price point in terms of gloves. A lot of people, once you start getting into kind of the 200 to 300 range, are going to start, venturing off into the higher end stuff like a Winning, Grant, even Fly is kind of in that area. But I feel like these gloves really perform nicely. Price point wise, I feel like they can come down a little bit lower with the price point. I feel like if these were like $150, these would be a home run hitter, just because I feel that the profile of the glove, how they perform, the quality of these, if you were to put these like at 150, they would directly compete with like a Reyes glove. And I think these right here, if you were to put these right next to the Cleto Reyes and you were to ask me, hey, what gloves do you want to wear today to the gym and train with, I would definitely pick these over Reyes, just based on the comfort of the glove. Now quality wise, that's apples to oranges. Obviously Reyes, the leather and the stitching is impeccable, so it's really hard to comment in terms of the quality. I would say Reyes, quality wise with leather and the stitching, is still a hair better than these, because of the Mexican leather that they use is really high end. But in terms of the hand ergonomics and the comfort and just the satisfying feel of when you land a punch, these are definitely better than Reyes in my opinion. So hope you guys enjoyed this review video. If you guys have any comments or questions, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Punch Equipment Fuerte Mexican style boxing gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.